Hello viewers, welcome to our lecture series on contemporary issues in business, management and economy. And in that very series, we are going to present before you a very unique topic, or I would say very relevant topic for discussion, that is called Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC, in Indian context. So, we will be talking about what exactly we mean by CBDC, that is Central Bank Digital Currency, what the concept is all about, and the way it has been implemented in India. How do we define it, what are the benefits associated with it, the way it is implemented now, why CBDC matters for India. That is also something which we will be discussing with you in this very series of our lectures. And then we will talk about the categories, in different categories in which this can be issued, and the issuance models also, that what are the models we are using. And then we will talk about key principles and benefits of CBDC with which the government has implemented it now, and it is actually a new reality. And what is the difference between CBDC and UPI or privacy concerns? That is something which we shall discuss in due course of our discussion on the topic. So, with this as an agenda, let me tell you about how do we define CBDC, what exactly it is. So, unlike e-money or stable coins or private digital assets like Bitcoin, CBDCs are actually the digital forms of national currencies, which is actually issued by the central banks. Having said central bank means, I am not talking about only Reserve Bank of India, which is the central bank of our own country, that is India or Bharat. We are talking about the central banks across the world. That across the world, central banks are actually issuing the digital forms of their national currency, which is also known as fiat currencies. Some people ask me, what is this fiat currency? When we say fiat currency, we are willing to indicate that this currency is not supported by any gold or silver reserve or any metallic reserve. It is actually a reflection of the paper currency, wherein the guarantee of the government is there to support that currency. In support of that currency, the guarantee by the governor of that particular central bank is there in place, and they always make a promise that bearer of this particular currency would be given the value. So, CBDC actually it serves as a novel form of central bank money, and it functions as a new financial infrastructure. So, when I talk about new financial infrastructure, or when I talk about the novel form of central bank money, there is a question in your mind that why do we need this CBDC when we already have the digital wallets, we already have UPI. So, what is the reason of having this new currency, new form of currency, that is called CBDC? So, why are we having, that is something which I am going to tell you in detail. But when we talk about the CBDC into its forms, it can take two forms. One is the retail CBDC, which is actually designed for general public, broad public uses in retail transactions like you and me, who can make use of this particular currency called CBDC, that is central bank digital currency. Or when we talk about the wholesale CBDC, it is tailored for financial institutions and wholesale markets, just in order to facilitate large value interbank transactions and settlements. So, when it comes to large value interbank transactions or settlements, CBDC in its wholesale format is there for our rescue, and it is helping us. It is tailored for that motive only, that at institutional level, when there is some settlement is to be done, this wholesale CBDC can also be used. Now, when we talk about the digital form of fiat currency, which is issued by the central bank, it actually represents a direct liability of the central bank. It is actually the promise by the governor of the central bank. If I say in Indian context, the Reserve Bank of India governor is making a promise. They are writing on that currency, in paper currency, you must have seen, I promise to pay the bearer a sum of this much of rupees. So, this is actually a promise by the governor of that particular Reserve Bank, who is making a promise that yes, the value is going to be paid to the bearer of that currency. So, it is representing a direct liability of central bank per se, and when we talk about India, it is the Reserve Bank whose liability is this. So it is actually, the CBDC concept is of very much emergence and relevance also. It is very much relevant as on date, and across the globe the work is going on. So India is not nowhere lagging in this field also, as it is heading in all aspects. So is the case of this CBDC as well. So it is emerging due to digitalization of payments and decline of cash usage. We all know, we have gone through this demonetization as well. So India is a country which is also having in its history a case of demonetization, where the currency was demonetized, and along with that, now we are having the digital payment, digitalization of payments and decline of cash uses. So this CBDC is being explored globally by most of the central banks. Most of the central banks, they are actually exploring this very currency because of its immense benefits which is coming to us. So when we talk about the recent developments across the globe in terms of CBDC current development, 93% of 86 central banks surveyed around the world by Bank for International Settlement, that is called BIS, and they found that they are engaged in some form of CBDC related work. And this, I am not saying, this is published in the UNDP report on the topic in the month of June 2025. So approximately 93% of 86 central bank, they are actually engaged in some form of CBDC related work, which actually gives a reflection of increasing significance of this very currency, this e-currency, which is also a new reality for Indian economy, for Indian people, and also for the people who are making some transactions with India. So the Reserve Bank of India, it has launched this offline digital rupee, that is called e-rupee. In India, the CBDC is named as e-rupee. So the symbol of rupee is there, and as a prefix, the alphabet E in lower case is mentioned, and we call it e-rupee. It is actually a major step in India's digital finance journey, which is announced at the Global FinTech Fest 2025 in Mumbai. So this e-rupee is India's central bank digital currency. If you ask me what is the name of CBDC in India, I would say it is e-rupee, and it is actually functioning like the digital cash with the same trust as we are using the physical currency. So the same trust is there, the same guarantee is there, the same promise is there, and with all that, we are having this new form of our currency called e-rupee, which is actually the synonym to CBDC in India, central bank digital currency in India. And it is actually issued directly by the Reserve Bank of India and stored in secured digital wallets provided by banks, and it also allows instant person to person and person to merchant, which is actually known as P2P and P2M. So person to person and person to merchant payments without requiring constant internet connectivity. Even when you are offline, it can be used. So imagine the kind of sophistication we are having into our digital currency, that even when you are offline, then too you can make use of this currency, because right now when we are using UPI, somehow if you are not having the proper connectivity, your payment gets failed. But CBDC is actually an answer to all those problems which we have been facing, and I will be telling you about the difference between UPI and e-rupee in due course of our discussion in this very lecture of mine. So currently, what is the modus operandi of its implementation? 19 banks, including all leading banks are there, including State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, and Union Bank of India, to name a few. They are actually offering wallets that can be downloaded either via Google Play Store or by Apple App Store. Even in the iOS also it is available. So we can find that these 19 banks as on date, there is a list, and you can make use of that. You can download. So these banks are actually offering these wallets, and this e-rupee also features offline payments using minimal network signals or NFC based tap technology. ensuring transactions can be made in remote or even the rural areas, even the most backward areas of our country where the connectivity is very weak or the signals are not proper, then too we can make good use of this new currency that is called CBDC or e-rupee. So, beyond convenience, this e-rupee is actually introducing programmable features, and when we talk about the features are programmable, and it enables funds to be restricted for specific purposes, expiry dates, geolocations or merchant categories. When we take the when we look at the benefits of this e-rupee, the most significant part of it is that you can make use of it according to your convenience. You can have some restrictions onto that. If you want your currency not to be used in specific locations, you can do that. If you want not to use it for specific purposes, or you want to put an expiry date, you can do that, or even the merchant categories you can decide as per your convenience. So this is the benefit of this programmable feature of e-rupee, and of course it is a new reality. It's a kind of revolution, I would say, in the field of CBDC, and India is heading it in terms of its implementation. Now the question comes, why CBDC matters for India? Why government has taken this initiative, in a very planned manner, in a very proper manner? Why government is investing into this? So the answer to this question is that rising digital payments and cost of cash management. We all understand that when we are maintaining cash or when we are issuing physical currency, of course there is a cost involved into it. So we all understand that rising digital payments is also a reason why government has given a proper thought to this very revolution of coming up with the CBDC. So rising digital payments and of course cost of cash management is also there as a reason why CBDC matters for India, because government would actually be saving in terms of cost, huge cost which is being incurred on printing and managing and transporting the physical currency. The second is need for sovereign alternative to private cryptocurrencies. We all know that in cryptocurrencies, despite the benefits which the Indian youth is looking into it, but yes, there are a lot of disadvantages associated with that. There are a lot of problems into that. So there is a need for sovereign alternative to private cryptocurrencies, and of course to support financial inclusion and payment efficiencies is one of the biggest reason why CBDC matters a lot for India, because we are actually working as a welfare economy. Indian economy is actually working on the principles of welfare economy, where lot of benefits are being transferred to the beneficiaries. So the benefit must be transferred to the right person. That is a major concern. So this very initiative is going to take care of that, and also the financial inclusion, that those who are staying in the far-flung areas of the country without any proper connectivity till date, they too will have the benefit of this e-rupee. So it is supporting financial inclusion and payment efficiency, and of course in result it is going to strengthen monetary sovereignty of India, and that is something which is a matter of pride for us. So this CBDC matters a lot for us because of these benefits. I will be explaining to you more benefits of it, or more reasons why CBDC has been implemented. But before that, let us have a look at evolution of money. We all understand that we started from barter system, then to metallic money, and after that we started thinking that there were certain problems, limitations into barter system, and that actually resulted into the emergence of metallic money, which means use of metals in currency, what we call as coins, which were being used, and gold and silver, they were the most popular metals which were actually used for minting the currency. And then cause of the disadvantages or the problems faced by the issuance authorities in maintaining and managing this entire currency, we came up with the idea of paper currency. So this was a brief evolution of money, where barter system to metallic money and then paper currency became the new reality. When paper currency came, at that time also people must have thought of a kind of revolution in the monetary system, that yes, the metallic currency or the metal currency is no more there into the system, and now we are having paper currency. And then we started talking about bank deposits and electronic money and digital currencies, and now of course the CBDC is actually the new reality, the new normal of the evolution of money, that now we are having CBDC, central bank central bank digital currency, which is actually a new stage into this very evolution of money. So CBDC actually retains the core functions of money. Some people think that whether it would be able to perform all the functions of money or not. Of course, answer is yes. It is as good as the currency, the physical currency which you are keeping into your physical wallet. It is as good as that. It has the same trust, it has the same guarantee, it has the same promise what you are having with your physical currency, which is there into your pocket. Now the question comes, what functions money has been performing for us? Just have a recap of that. We all know that we are using money. So first of all, the value is being stored into that currency. Second is medium of exchange. Third is unit of account. Fourth is what we want to listen from the authorities, that CBDC fulfills all three functions. So function of money can be classified into three parts, and all three functions are properly performed by this CBDC, that is central bank digital currency. So it is designed in such a way that it has to fulfill all three conditions, all three functions, so that there is no inhibition, there is no hitch, or there is no limitation for anyone, there is no reservation by anyone that whether I should use it or not. So it fulfills all three functions, and that is why globally the CBDC has now been adopted. Now let's have a discussion on global CBDC adoption condition, that what is happening across the globe. So over 80% of the central banks are researching on CBDC. This is the reality. This is actually a published report by UNDP, that approximately more than 80% of central banks across the globe, they are conducting research on central bank digital currency. Some of them they are in the pilot stage, some of them they have come up with the digital currency itself. So if we look at the pilots, pilots in countries like Bahamas, Uruguay and China, they have already conducted it, they have already implemented it in pilot mode, and retail CBDC is actually the most common in emerging economies. So in emerging economies, the retail CBDC is more common than the wholesale CBDC, and wholesale CBDC is more popular in advanced economies, or what you call as developed economies. There, because they need it in wholesale or at institutional level settlements, they need it more. So these are the key dimensions of CBDC adoption at global level. Now coming to the categories of CBDC, that in what different categories it is being implemented. One is, as I told you, one is retail CBDC and another is wholesale CBDC. Retail CBDC is for public usage, what you technically call as person to person, P2P, or in certain countries they are using it to be peer to peer. And in wholesale CBDC it is for interbank settlements, or at the level of institutions it is being used. And general purpose models are possible. Synthetic CBDC is also an alternative concept which is being studied, which is being researched by the central banks across the globe. So if we look at the broad categories of CBDC, it can be retail CBDC and wholesale CBDC. Now what is this wholesale CBDC? It is used by banks and financial institutions. Because of its benefits, it is being designed in such a way that it is improving interbank settlements. It strengthens the entire process of interbank settlements. It is making an improvement into that. It reduces liquidity and counterparty risk. So the risk which can be there in physical currency, it is no more into it. It reduces liquidity and counterparty risk. It is useful for real time gross settlement, what you call as RTGS, or securities and cross border payments. Also it is very much useful and safe also. The safety concern was also there, so it is in a way very much safe for that purpose as well. And when we look at retail CBDC, it is actually a digital cash for day to day transactions, or what you call as everyday transactions. You can hold it in digital wallets, and it is supported by in both the modes, online as well as offline payments can also be done. It actually intends to enhance financial inclusion. So these are the benefits which are associated with the CBDC, that is called central bank digital currency. We have many more things to discuss about CBDC, like its issuance model, its benefits, the way it has been implemented. So all that I will be sharing with you in the next very segment of my lectures on CBDC. Till then, thank you so much.